Okay, good morning. We're going to continue our examination of athletic ready posture and also our experimentation into it. We're going to look at how it affects us and how we use it and how we stop using it, which is probably the bigger piece we need to understand, but how important it is in our day-to-day activities. The athletic ready posture we most often see in tennis players and volleyball players, but it happens in all sorts of different things, martial artists, gymnasts, people working. And it simply is to lower the lower half of the body by flexing the knees properly and elongating the upper half of the body and getting the head over the top of the hips. So we can activate something called the righting reflex so we can keep our head and neck stable. So what happens over time is we come out of this athletic ready position and we start a series of cheats. The one that's most obvious as people age and decondition is the bow-legged position. So the athletic ready position is something that's required of life, whether you're lifting something up, you're cooking, you're washing the dishes. We have to be able to go into the athletic ready position. But what we can do as a compromise is instead of bending our knees, having them go forward and our hips come back, is we can tuck our tail and we can bow out our knees. So this ends up happening. So we get, the spine still stays upright, but we get this really odd posture like this. And so you see these people walking around and they walk around kind of waddling side to side instead of walking forward because they're not translating through their hips, because they can't create hip translation because they've tucked their tails. So we're gonna really work on creating hip flexion, knee flexion, but keeping the torso upright. But in order to do so, we have to look at basic posture, and we'll start with that. Feet parallel, hips width apart. Here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between is that hips width apart. Feel what it feels like to have hips width apart with your feet parallel. Get your feet parallel and hips width apart. Feel what it feels like to have that energy through your legs. We are going to bend the knees, but we're going to energize up. It's called doming the feet or small footing the arches of the feet. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to turn the knees out. That's different than the bow-legged I was talking about earlier because we're activating in the muscles. So you're activating your calves, your quad, and your butt. And then we're going to push down big toe in the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer four toes and the corresponding metatarsal head, but mainly that pinky toe, and finally your heel. 1/3 the weight through the balls of your feet, 1/3 the weight through your toes, 1/3 the weight through your heels as we go into stance. Keep those legs bent, keep that helixing of energy through your legs. And now we're going to turn on first chakra, that's your pelvic floor. Second chakra, that's your lower abs. Third chakra, that's your upper abs. You're going to draw your shoulder blades down and back, get your head over top of your body. This is where we start that athletic ready position. Keep your abs engaged. We want to keep those abs super on tight, and then we're going to do our little squats. You want to make sure those knees bend and the hips go back, but the chest stays up. Feel what it feels like to bend those legs, flex from the ankles, flex from the knees. But the pressure is not in your knees or your ankles, it's in your quads and your butt. Keep your abs engaged, smiles are up. Just feel what it feels like to squat with this very dynamic stance, especially with that pinky toe down. Keep your abs engaged. And we're gonna stay low because part of the athletic ready position is being able to move your hips. So you're gonna move your hips side to side. Your knees will bend, but they're going front to back. They're not going side to side. Keep breathing. Your goal is to keep your head still. Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone? Anyone? Anyone. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. Feel what it feels like to move for your hips and see how over time we get out of this habit. Feel how much your quads are working. And then you're going to come back up again. You're going to come back in the stance. Keep the energy helixing out. Abs are nice and tight. Tall through your posture. We're going to do that again. We're going to lower down a little bit deeper this time. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. You're going to move your hips side to side. Make sure those knees go straight forward, straight back. They don't do anything weird like this or they go out. It's just straight forward, straight back. Abs are nice and tight. You should feel your quads, not your knees. You should feel your butt And you should feel your abs. Your chest is up, your eyes are up, your heart's up. Keep everything engaged. And then we're coming back up again. See how things are feeling. You should feel more on your toes now because we've activated that athletic ready posture. And then now we're gonna just massage out the feet for a second here because we're gonna make sure the feet are pliable to do what they need to do. You're gonna keep your feet parallel as you roll out the bottom of your left foot. See how everything feels? See how everything engages? Keep your core on. There is a slight bend in the knees, even though they're towards straighter. You can go side to side, but you will keep your feet parallel because this is a habit we want to learn. Suck in your tummy. Every sport has an athletic ready posture, and it involves bending the lower half of the body and keeping the upper half of your body upright. Even look at surfing. Even though the feet don't necessarily face in the same direction, the same principle applies. And having worked with surfers, when that breaks down, they will start getting toe and knee problems. And it doesn't make sense with the surfer, but it makes sense with how the posture is breaking down. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Roll out the bottom of this foot, keep your feet parallel, abs are nice and tight. Find anything that's sore. It should not be sore, and any soreness you do feel has nothing to do with this ball except how you use your foot. Abs are nice and tight. So we do need a certain amount of ankle mobility and knee mobility in order to get this athletic ready posture. So that's what we're going to work first, at least. Now, go ahead and get your block. We're going to work the next piece, which is that ankle flexibility. As you put the block underneath the ball of your left foot, your abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy, your shoulder blades are down and back. Once again, knees are slightly externally rotated to create that helix, but not to create bull legs. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back, chest is up, suck in that tummy. We're going to start out by pumping those hips forward. Keep breathing. See what it feels like to elongate. This is called your gastrocnemius. And you can see how much this gastrocnemius is important in being able to keep your head over the top of your body. Because when it tightens up, it causes your spine to round, your tail to tuck, and your head to come forward. Keep sucking in your tummy. And good. Keep your chest up. This is where we work that athletic posture. You're going to bend your knees, bend your hips, keep your chest upright, keep head upright. So now you see how your ankle's involved in this equation. It shouldn't be doing the lion's share of the work. It should be involved in allowing the energy to go into your quads and your butt instead of into your joints because we're working muscles instead of joints. Smiles are up and you're breathing. This is now your soleus muscle. Okay, we are gonna switch sides. Feet are parallel, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back, suck in your tummy, elongate. Abs are nice and tight. And you're just gonna start out by pumping your hips forward. See what that feels like to elongate this gastrocnemius. Make sure that head stays over the top of your pelvic floor. Keep breathing, abs are engaged. And then here we go. Keep your knees parallel as you go into your squat. Keep your chest up, no rounding your spine. You should feel no pressure in your knees or your low back. If you do, it means you have to fire up major muscles, stabilize your core, draw your lats down, engage your abs. So you can go into athletic ready posture under any surface. It doesn't have to always be flat level surfaces. That's a mistake we make. And you see it because soon as people who haven't been on uneven surfaces go on the uneven surfaces, you see them start to fall over. All you have to do is go hiking in Hawaii. Okay, good. We're gonna switch feet. Abs are engaged. You're gonna bend both knees. You're gonna take your right leg back behind you. I gotta move forward a little bit. Make sure that knee's over top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. Take that foot a little bit further back than you might normally take it. We're gonna continue on that soleus muscle. We're gonna work the quad muscles. We're gonna try to keep as much energy out of the knee as you can by sticking your butt out, putting more work into your glute max. Okay, from here you're gonna bend that front knee and straighten it. Watch the alignment. The knee stays over the top of the foot. Suck in that tummy, your spine is straight. Athletic ready position means your spine's straight, you're putting no pressure into your low back, you're putting it into major muscle groups. Suck in that tummy, smiles are up. If you're not enjoying what you're doing something you don't enjoy. Smiles are up. Okay, stay in this forward position, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back. We are going to continue to put the work into your butt, keep your spine straight. We're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. Keep your spine straight, no pressure in your low back because your abs are stabilizing. If you feel pressure in your low back or your knee, it means to tighten something up, like your abs, your lats, your quads, or your butt. Eight. 9, 10. Stay in this position, abs are engaged. Your head is not going to move as you lift and lower that rear leg from the same spot you had it in the first place. Don't move your head around. Your body doesn't move. Watch the knee alignment. 8, 9, 10. And we switch sides. Okay, leg goes back behind you. Front knee is straight, knees over top of your foot, abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. We want to feel the energy in your quad and your butt, your abs and your lats. We don't want to feel it in your knee or your low back. So if you feel it in your low back, it means you need to engage your abs, stick your butt out a little bit more. And here we go. You're going to bend that front leg and straighten. Watch the alignment of the knee over the top of the foot. It doesn't go medial. Smiles are up. Eight, 9, and 10. Okay, now keep the front knee bent. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to hinge forward using your butt as a fulcrum point now. Don't use your low back muscles. Stabilize your abs if you feel it in your low back, or push your hips back. You should feel this in your quad and your butt, your abs and your lats. Eight, 9, 10. Okay, stay forward. You don't want your head to move. You're gonna lift lower that rear leg from where your toes came from. Keep that front leg bent, abs are engaged. Don't move your body around, don't move your head around. It's just lift and lower. Keep your quad on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're gonna switch sides again. We're continuing in that athletic ready position, keeping it torso upright. Front knee is bent. You're gonna take your leg across midline. This is a stretch. Now you're gonna notice the alignment knee is not over the top of the foot, but it still follows the shaft of the leg. You're gonna stick your booty out. You should feel a stretch in now your glute max as well as your soleus muscle. Abs are nice and tight. First, we're just gonna stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. This is a balanced stretch, and you're breathing. Okay, and then here we go. We're gonna hinge forward and then come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, abs, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're staying in this position. Your head's not going to move. We're going to make sure you can really anchor into athletic ready position. You're going to bend and straighten that rear leg. Your head's not going to move. Your foot's going to return to its same base place. You should feel this work in your butt and your quads. 9, 10. Switch sides. Okay. You're bending your front knee, watching alignment of the knee. Like I said, it is not directly over the top of your foot. It's now slightly angled in. Abs are nice and tight. We'll start out with that stretch. Feet, for the most part, are parallel. Feel the stretch in your butt as well as your soleus. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. And then here we go. We're going to hinge forward, come back up. Keep breathing. Eight, 9, 10. Stay in this position. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to bend and straighten that rear leg, always returning it to the same place. Try not to move your body. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Come back onto 2 feet. Okay, so you notice that I just angled out the block. You're going to have your foot follow that angle. You're going to turn out your knee to keep your knee going with that angle. So it's a strange little thing that we're doing. We're going to take the foot back behind us, so really we have to keep everything open, this kind of open feeling. So you're going to bend your knee and straighten it. Keep your abs engaged. Make sure that knee lines up over the top of the foot, even though I'm turned out. Okay, stay forward. You're going to push your butt back. Keep that knee out. Abs are engaged. You're sucking your tummy. There should be no pressure in your knee. It should be all in your butt. Shoulder blades are down and back. Just feel this stretch. Just a little bit longer. Chest up, abs on. And good. We're going to switch sides. There should be no pressure in your knee. If you feel pressure in your knee went medial. Okay, take that leg back behind you. Your knees turned out, knees going in the same direction as your foot. Rear leg is straight. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy, and you're going to bend and straighten. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Block it comes back to center as you put your left knee on the block, right foot goes forward. I just observed an interesting behavior of the minor birds since I've lived at this house. Minor birds here love plastic bags. I don't know why. And they like play with it. They fly around with plastic bags and they make a racket. I think they use it for nesting, but I think it's just really interesting that they will like play tug of war. They'll play games with plastic bags, and it makes a crinkling noise, and I can always tell when they're playing. I just brought it up because there's some birds outside doing it. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. And here we go. We're going to start out by doing your hip circle. Try to keep this front knee just really motionless, because you want to be able to do a hip circle without doing a knee circle, because that's not a motion of the knee, it's a motion of the hip. And we want to make sure we don't accidentally transfer work to other parts of our body. Keep your abs engaged. And then we're going in the opposite direction. Remember, the goal is to keep your head over the top of that block. 9, 10. Then we're just going to stretch forward. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let any pressure go on your low back. If you feel your low back, tighten your abs. Our goal is to stretch out what's called your rectus femoris. So we really want that to open up and not your low back. That's accidentally activating your psoas and turning off your abs. Okay, you're going to come back, you're going to bend your leg, reach back with your right hand, grab your left foot. Chest goes up, shoulder blades are down and back, abs are engaged, you're going to push forward again. Maybe it's a guy thing, but nothing is more satisfying than getting your trash out on the right day and actually having the trash people pick it up, instead of missing the day like I did last week and not getting your trash taken away. Stretch forward, abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy, pull that heel to the butt. It's such a victory. Feel what it feels like to pump forward and lengthen even further that rectus femoris. So essential. So it's your calves, your quad, and your butt that get you into that ready or react in that athletic ready posture. So we got to make sure it can lengthen and shorten. And good. Just release your leg. Oops, I'm going to move back a tiny bit. You're going to just counter stretch the opposite hamstring as you reach forward with your left hand. Abs are engaged, toes up, smiles are up. Keep breathing. 9 and 10. Let's switch sides. Same thing on this side, heads over top of the ball, abs are nice and tight. We're starting out with our hip circle. Try not to move that front knee. Jaws relax, smiles are up. Opposite direction. Just notice if you put motion into that left knee, it might explain some left knee problems. Okay, we're going to stretch forward, opening up the rectus femoris, abs are nice and tight. Feel that lengthening, keep your abs engaged, no pressure in your low back. Keep breathing, keep smiling. You want the tension in your abs, not in your face. Okay, and then you're going to reach back with your left hand, grab a hold of that right foot. We're going to lengthen this rectus femoris. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Whoa, you can pump your hips forward. This is the important jumping muscle. This helps us jump, this helps us run, all sorts of amazing things that the body can do. So we gotta make sure this muscle group can lengthen. How's it stand up straight? Okay, we're gonna counter stretch it now. You can release that rear leg. You're going to stretch forward with that right hand. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. No pressure in any joints because we are working muscles and not stretching joints. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on, back up again. We're going to switch sides. We're gonna do our jumping, but now we're gonna understand jumping a little bit better. Jumping is supposed to come from your lower extremities, none of it which comes through your upper extremities. So we're gonna start out in our thinker pose. Your toes are curled under. You don't wanna feel any excessive pressure into those toes, so if you do, push your heel back to get the stretch more in your plantar fascia and your calf muscle. Okay, chest is up, abs are nice and tight. So here's athletic ready posture. Your legs are bent, your chest is up. Your left hand's gonna follow your right leg, and we're gonna jump forward. So see, we just moved out of the hips, we're gonna move back into the hips. Keep your spine straight, your abs engaged. Keep breathing. You should feel your quad muscles, not your knees. Abs are engaged. And that's 10. Stay in this position again. Reassess things. If you felt it in your knees, that means you were using your knees. We want you to use your quads, your butt, your abs, and your lats. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Chest up. Catch your breath. And here we go again. Keep breathing, keep feeling things, keep smiling. Make sure it's not going into your low back or your knees. Okay. 9. One more. 10. And this is why people dislike jumping as they age. We're going to switch sides. Because we tend to put it in the joints instead of the muscles. And that's at any point in your life, that's a hard thing to do to your joints. Okay? We're going to go back into our thinker pose. If you do feel the pressure in your metatarsal heads, push your heels back. Okay? Remember, your right hand follows your left leg. Abs are nice and tight, chest is up. We're moving from our hips. We're moving from muscles and not joints. No pressure in your knees or your low back. Here we go. Keep breathing. Try not to use your neck. Smiles are up. You should only feel your quad. 9, 10. Good job. You are breathing. You are smiling. You're enjoying the vlog outside. Abs are nice and tight. Chest is up. Elongate through the spine. We're short in the lower half of the body as we do our second set. Smiles are up. No pressure in the knees. If you do, tighten up your quads. Watch the balance. And 10. Good. Switch sides. Okay. Left leg's on the block, right leg's off the block. And you're gonna take it back behind you. It's gonna be straight. I have to move forward a tiny bit. Okay, you're in this position. Okay, now that you have this position, you're gonna take your arms off your roller. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna form balance. We're only gonna do 5 of these. You're gonna hinge forward and come back up. You're using your butt, not your back. If you feel this in your back, you need to tighten your abs, put more work into your butt. 3, 4, 5. Good. Rest. Abs are engaged. Okay, now you're gonna take your leg across midline. This is gonna be more of a stretch. You're sticking out your booty. Yeah, your knee's down on this one. But feel what it feels like to have a long spine and have your lower extremities bent. If you don't learn anything else other than Lower from the lower extremities, lengthen from the upper extremities. From this class, you've done beautifully. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Right knee's on the block, left knee is not. Right toes are curled under. You gotta take your left leg back behind you. See what it feels like to balance first, and then you're gonna take your arms back behind you. Okay, get your balance, keep your core on, abs are nice and tight, no pressure in your low back. 1, 2, suck in that tummy. 3, 4, and 5. Good. You're gonna take in that weird stretch, leg goes across midline, knee comes down, you're pushing your hip out, we're opening up glute max. We're fully flexing the knee, but we're keeping the upper body straight. So you can kind of see where we're heading down to a squat. We're almost there though. Okay, we're gonna come down onto our knees now. Okay, your hands are on your knees, your abs are nice and tight, your chest is up. Keep breathing. See what it feels like. You're gonna lean back and stretch. As you do, you're gonna lift your knees off the ground, keep your toes down. Abs are nice and tight, your toes are pointed. And you're gonna suck in your tummy and release. I love the VOG. Suck in that tummy and release. Suck in your tummy and release. Make sure you're breathing. Eight, 9, 10. Okay, now you're gonna curl your toes under, do the same thing. Okay, now you're gonna lean back once again. Abs are nice and tight, so you should be pushing your heels back if you feel excessive pressure in those metatarsal heads. Suck in that tummy and relax, suck it in, relax, suck it in, relax. So learning how to distribute force through those feet into the other parts of the extremities, shoulder blades are down and back. This is ultimate knee flexion, ankle flexion, toe flexion, elongation of the spine. This is why people hate doing this, but this is really important in athletic ready position, or at least the practice of it. 9 and 10, good. You can kneel for a second, catch your breath. We're gonna do some more like ankle mobility work. You're just gonna curl your toes under, you're gonna push your heels down, you're gonna go into a squat and then put your knees back down. Squat, knees back down. You're rolling over the tops of your feet. This is how your feet should roll when you walk. So this should be a piece of cake. If this is difficult for you, it means you are not walking over the top of your feet properly, that's all. And it means you have an opportunity to practice. Eight, 9, 10. Okay. See how ready I am for this. So, just to remind Annie, squatting means your heels are down. Okay, we're gonna go into a squat position from here. Squat, squat. But in the squat position, we're gonna do something funny. We're just gonna first just oscillate side to side like this. It's okay if your feet are turned out on this one. As long as your knees are going in the same direction. Side to side, you're opening up your hips, you're opening up your adductors. And then what we're gonna do is roll off and go down and then back up. This is hip mobility. Ew. 8, 9, 10. Good, come back in the knee lane. That should have been kind of exhausting. And he says yes. Gillen says it was a piece of cake because she does it all day long farming. okay. Giving you a second more. I can see something you need to recover. And then here we go again. We're going just into a squat position. Heels are down. I'm facing the camera more. Okay, from here we're coming all the way up and then back down. Like I said, it's okay if your feet are turned out, as long as your knees are going in the same direction as your feet. You should feel this in your butt and quads, nothing in your low back. Athletic ready position. Here's all the work low and then bringing it up. I had a friend that was a professional tennis player, and it was amazing how much work she just did in squats in order to do tennis. It's not even how much she played tennis, it's how long she could do work in squats. I lost count. What is that? 6, 7, watch the alignment, 8, 9, no pressure in the low back, 10, hands and stick them up, come back to the ground. So you're learning to move without your hands. You should have felt a lot of pressure in your quads and your butt, because that's where we're supposed to put work. This next one's going to be a little bit easier. You're going to take your right foot forward, and you're just going to rock forward and back. And eventually we're going to take it, woo, all the way till your knee goes down. Rock forward, rock back. You can have your block handy. This is just mobilizing a foot and the ankle. Nine, 10. Switch sides. Once again, same thing, rock it forward, and now rock it down. Notice how difficult this is. Yeah, don't use your wrist, that could be bad. Like I talked about last week, in females, the most often fractured part of the body is actually the wrist. And it's because of this weakness of the lower extremities that we transfer into the upper extremities. Eight, 9, 10. Come into kneeling again. Whew, I am sweating. It is a hot and humid day today. Okay, make sure your chest is up nice and tall, shoulder blades are down and back. I know you want to round in order to save energy. We're going to burn a little bit of energy as your hands stay and stick them up. You're going to take your right foot forward, then you're going to take your left foot forward, then you're going to take your right foot down, back into kneeling. Then left foot forward, right foot forward, left foot back, right foot back, switch sides. Just going back and forth, getting into a squat position, because if you can do this, you could get up off the ground without your hands. You should not feel this in your knees. You should feel this in your quads and your butt. You should feel nothing in your low back. Spines are up. I forgot what number this is. Guessing this is like 9. So this would make this one 10. And rest. Quads tired? Okay. Grab your roller. I'm going to angle off a little bit so you can see. So the roller's underneath, going to go underneath my thighs. My knees are bent and I'm rolling out my quads. If you find any sore spots, you can bend and straighten your legs and break it up. If you want, you could go heavy on one leg, continuing to break it up. You could switch sides at any time. Keep going. Keep breathing. Roll it out. Try to make this as fluid as possible. There should be no pain in your quads, especially after working them. Keep rolling. I'm just watching you guys. Remember to breathe. Roll it out. Anything that feels sore, get it out of there. And good. Come back into kneeling. We're going to work on the adductors in two different ways. One is you're going to take your leg out to the side and you're just going to roll. It's going to get deep, deep up high. It's called your pectineus muscle. We're stretching that out. But it's opening up all your adductors. And unless you practice this during the day, it's not going to open up on its own. And in order to get in the ready position, you have to get your legs apart. Okay? And then switch sides. Roll it out. Keep your abs engaged, pelvic floor on. Especially with your legs apart, it's really important to keep your pelvic floor on. Nine, 10. Okay, you're going to take it back to this side again. I'm going to angle off so you can see. Once again, we're putting our leg on the roller, only this time we're going to straighten that rear leg and we're going to get the inside and actually roll the adductors. You can even go on your elbows. You're rolling out the inside, inner thigh of your leg. Keep your abs engaged, especially their lower abs. You could straighten your leg if you'd like. Keep your abs engaged so no pressure goes into your low back. Notice if it's more tender, closer to your knee or closer to your groin. Just tells you which part you use more. Keep those abs engaged. Roll out anything that feels sore. Okay, we are going to switch sides. Leg goes on the roller, rear leg goes straight, that's your left leg, and you're rolling it out. You can be on your elbows if you'd like. You can even put down the right side of your body, or the left side of your body. Notice if it's more tender, closer to your knee, or closer to your groin. It would explain why you have hip or knee pain. Get out whatever feels sore. Come back into kneeling. As we get ready to work on the abs. Okay, put your ball on top of your block. You're gonna have a seat on top of that ball, on top of the block. It's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. We're just gonna start the activation of the abs. So, as you're sitting on top of that ball, I want you to squeeze your pelvic floor, tighten your abs. This is getting you ready to jump, and this is how you get active out of that athletic ready stance. Because if you can tighten your abs, it means you can be fast. So, I used to do a knife martial art, and what's really nice about a knife martial art, you don't have to be strong. You need to be fast, and you need to keep your blade sharp, because a blade, you don't have to be strong if it's sharp. So it was a lot about quick flicks, and to get speed, you get it from your abs. So to do a flick, it would be from your abs. That's what made it fast. So the faster you can contract your abs, the faster you'll be. Abs, 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 abs. Okay? Keep that chest up because this is athletic ready position. Now we're gonna take your right leg forward. You're gonna rotate off to the right and you're gonna tighten your abs. So you could pretend you have a paddle, you could have a racket, you could have anything you want off to your right, and you're gonna tighten your abs. You're gonna keep your chest up though as you contract your abs. Contract, contract, contract. Because that's where it comes from. You'll feel two muscle groups. You'll feel your abs, mainly your obliques, and your lats. And it should start loosening up and your body starts going, yeah, I know this position. And then good, we're gonna switch sides. Same thing off to the side. You're gonna rotate as far as you can to the left, abs are nice and tight. And you're gonna paddle. You can do a backhand. You could do whatever you want. Or you could just reach for something in the backseat of your car. But we want it going through muscles. We don't want it going through joints. This is also bringing out your internal organs. And good. Bring both feet forward. We're going to get ourselves into feet parallel, knees over bent. So this is athletic ready posture. Your torso's long, your shirt and your lower extremities. We're going to bounce because bouncing is what gets us to be able to be agile, quick, and be able to move. You're going to bounce up and down. That means you have to activate your pelvic floor. And some other things that drives me crazy when I watch pickleball is the people that don't bend their knees and instead round their spine. I want you to be long through your spine, bending your knees. So you can do backhand. You could paddle. There was a great video I watched of the little kid. It looks like it could be possibly Southeast Asia, I'm not really clear. He lives on a river and he wants to get across the river and he gets in a giant bowl and he gets an arbitrary stick and he starts paddling himself like paddleboard from a bowl. It was crazy. So I want you to feel what it feels like to move quickly. You're quick and you're agile. Okay, we're gonna try it. You're gonna take your right leg forward. Abs are nice and tight, you're gonna bounce. You can just keep your hands in the ready position. Okay, you can try it a few times, take your foot off the ground and bounce. Needs a lot of balance. And good, switch sides. Start out with your leg on the ground, abs are nice and tight, you're bouncing. Get that balance, get that coordination, and then you can try it with your foot off the ground. Make sure that spine is long. And good. That's just fun. Abs are nice and tight, and your hands are gonna go on your knees. Shoulder blades are down and back, long through the spine. We're gonna go into recovery position. Here we're gonna do sit-ups, tighten your pelvic floor, tighten your abs, close up your rib cage, and then do it again. Keep those shoulder blades down and back. No pressure in your low back or your knees. 10. Okay, we're gonna come to the ground now. Hands go back behind you, your spine is straight once again, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the ground. So, ooh, look at this, we're in athletic ready posture again. Ah, the trade winds came back. Oh, thank God. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're gonna do our first sit-up. You're gonna tighten your abs and release. You're gonna see what it feels like to engage your abs without rounding your spine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, from here, interlock your fingers. You're gonna reach up. Abs are nice and tight. You're elongating that spine, getting that spring up. You should feel this in your abs. 9, 10. Keep in the up position as you just go side to side, now using your obliques. Chest is up. Now you're going to do semicircles behind you. Use those abs. 9 and 10. Hands go back behind you. Shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. We're going to reverse the function now as you straighten your legs out. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Here we go. Suck in that tummy and release. Suck in your tummy, release. So we want a core activation whether our legs are bent or straight. And if you think about it and you do something like a jump, you have to straighten your legs, but you want your core on so you don't rip apart as you do your jump. It's so cute. I'm watching this woman. She can't get into the athletic ready posture, nor can she take her arms over the top of her head. And so she has a lot of trouble doing an overhead smash for two reasons. She can't lift her head up to see the ball, and she cannot fully extend her arm over the top of her head. So she thinks she keeps missing it because she's too short. And I decided to show her a photo of it, and she was all bent over and her arm wasn't extended. And she's like, oh my God, I'm not reaching for it. I look like an old lady. And I'm like, you're not, so reach. And she started hitting the ball over the top of her head. That's why we're gonna do that next. Abs are nice and tight, your legs are straight. Once again, interlock your fingers over the top of your head, and you're gonna do sit-ups to the ceiling. You're sucking in your tummy. You're using that ball as a launching pad. Abs are nice and tight. 8, 9, 10. And then you're gonna go side to side once again to get those obliques. And then you're going to do your semicircles over the top of your head. 9, 10. Great job, everyone. Now, lean back over the top of your ball. Your legs are straight. You're going to rock your hips from side to side. This is almost immediately going to tell you if you actually use your hip flexors instead of your abs because you feel tightness here. If you don't and you feel it here instead, that means you use your abs. Hooray, hooray. Suck in your tummy, close up your rib cage. First, second, third chakras are on. And you're breathing. We're going to work on those abductors now as you bend your knees. Ball goes more underneath your sacrum. Feet come together. Knees stay out. You're rocking from side to side. Keep your abs engaged, rib cage closed. Okay, then bend your knees, cross your left ankle over your right knee. Bring your heel or your knee to your chest. Try and keep your spine straight. I know it's easy to round your spine. This is where we want to work the hips. Keep that left toe up. Abs are nice and tight. You can even bounce it because it's at its terminal point. So you're not going to injure it by bouncing it there. You should feel your left glute max working or being stretched. No pressure in your knee. Okay, and then you just switch sides. Toe is up, abs are nice and tight. Keep those abs engaged. Okay, good. Now you could just bend your knees. So we're gonna look at the most important thing about athletic ready position. Can you bend your knees? So you're gonna straighten your legs and then bend your knees. Straighten your legs, bend your knees. If you can't bend your knees, you're gonna do what's called an unintentional limp, especially if one side can't bend but the other side can. So this is where we activate the muscles to make sure both knees feel secure and bending the same amount. Figure out what muscles have to go on to stabilize that knee so there's no pain or distress in the knees. Because this is non-weight bearing, so there should be no discomfort in the knees. Okay, now we're gonna go for a walk. See what it feels like to bend and bend. It should feel yummy and very restorative to your legs. It activates your quad muscles. And it also causes blood stagnated in your legs to go back to your heart to get circulated through your system to freshen back up again. And then we'll go for a little trot. And then we'll take it up to a run. Abs are nice and tight. And then we'll take it up to a sprint. No pressure in your knees. Now we're gonna go Gillen fast. That's super fast. No pressure in the knees. Figure out what muscles you have to turn on to take the pressure out of your knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs go straight again. Rock from side to side. See if you put it into your low back. See if you put it into your hip flexors. Get it back into your abs. Okay, now you're gonna get on your rollers. You're gonna go lengthwise on your roller. Your butt is at one end, head is at the other end. We're going into that athletic ready posture again. Your feet are parallel, your knees are over the top of your feet and they're bent. You're flexed in the hips, but now you're stacking your head over your spine over the top of your pelvic floor. We're going to catch that last piece. We'll much more detail on it Thursday. We're going to open up the upper half of the body, which we got to be able to elongate through, and that's why that woman couldn't do her overhead smash. Take your arms up over the top of your head. We're going to hang out here for a while. Try to keep your spine down, your abs engaged, as your arms go over the top of your body. Don't let the pressure build up in your shoulder joint. We want it to be in muscles and not joints. So fire up your lats, fire up your abs, fire up your what's called your serratus anterior, right in here. To stabilize your shoulders along with your pecs. We're just gonna hang out here for a while as you breathe. This is teaching you to be long in the upper half of the body and short in the lower half of the body. Keep breathing. Woo, the weather has taken a change. It's starting to get windy and potentially rainy. Take your arms out to the side, doing the same thing. Try to keep your shoulder blades down and back. No pressure into the joint. Oh, it is raining. And finally, put your hands onto the ground. Palms facing down, shoulder blades are down and back, your feet are parallel. Knees are over tops of your feet. First, second, and third chakras are firing up as you're breathing. See what everything feels like? what it feels like to come into your center. There's much craziness going on in the world right now. And the best that we can bring in is center. Because from your center, you will respond appropriately. And especially with athletic balance, we've worked on posture and athletic ready position. So you should know how to react from balance. Keep breathing. Feel what it feels like to inhale and saturate every tissue of your body with oxygen. And as you exhale everything out that's potentially deleterious to your body. Inhale in, exhale out. You guys stay on your rollers. I'm going to sit back up to bring you home. It is raining, a nice soft but steady rain outside right now. It has a very unique smell here in Hawaii when it rains. It's almost sweet smelling. Imagine taking that moisture that's in the air and saturating all your tissues. Tissues that feel dried out, overworked, stressed out. And as you exhale, you just take all those things out of your body. The more you come into your center, you're going to notice that people notice that you're in your center. Some people will appreciate it and feel very balanced by it. Other people may even attack you because they see how off-center they are in comparison to you. But either way, you're being a gift to those people, so stay in your center, stay in meditation, and just breathe. You guys have done an outstanding job. And on behalf of Maria, who couldn't be here today, and me, we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you so much for being here, being willing, being open, being loving, and supportive. Thank you, and namaste.